Thanks, everyone. Welcome back to the Green Kitchen. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Oh, you got a real fireworks shirt.
I do.
Did you see his shirt? That's pretty cool. Well, if you're watching this on the first day of the year, or maybe you're watching a replay in 2051, who knows? But I hope that you're going to be inspired today, because a lot of times people make New Year's resolutions. Okay, this time I'm really going to do what I need to do. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen with you guys too. Maybe you are going to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, or maybe you're going to buckle your belt and tighten the
Look, I got a belt. It's all blinged out. She doesn't want me to show it. It's okay. It's Amy's belt. I actually fit in it. It's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing. Well, anyway, Rick is going to make you something delicious that we like to eat too. And that's why we wanted to share it with you. And we're hoping that you get inspired to make your own plant-based food as well, right?
Yeah, because it's good for you.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
And you'll lose weight, and you'll help your heart, and you'll help your brain, and you'll help your arthritis, and you'll help everything else.
Yeah.
And you'll help the world.
Mm-hmm. So type in the comments if you have already adopted a plant-based lifestyle, or maybe you made a couple of slips and you're looking to get reinvigorated and motivated to get back on and do it even better for this year. Okay, so Rick, tell us, what are you going to make?
I'm going to make a zucchini.
There's a lot of zucchini
Instead
kitchen.
of pasta wrap, it's going to be zucchini like ravioli. And I'm going to put it on a portobello mushroom. There's some sauces that I use. Now I'm going to show you how to make them. And yeah, that's about it.
It's going to be good.
It's not going to be as elaborate as my other shows, but this one, it'll be nice.
Yeah, and as always,
I'm kind of winging it, just like always. If that's what she's going to say, I'm
yes.
sure it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But yes, as always, you are winging it, and it always tastes good. But if you want to tell us in the comments if you have already adopted a plant-based lifestyle, and if you have, for how long, or if you're just plant curious, let me know in the comments.
And where you're from?
Yeah, I'd like to know where you're watching
from. And whether you had a good New Year's?
Yeah.
Or you just slept? We brought ours in with a bang.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Literally. We watched a nice fireworks
we
show.
Did.
And then...
we stayed up a lot.
Anyway, it's good. Plant-based eating is good.
Yes. We stayed up a lot later than we usually do.
No, she stayed up a lot later than she usually does.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
I'm always up.
Well, break a leg, my love. I'm going back to the studio and fill that empty chair.
Bye. See you in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. She's going to switch me over to the other one where you can see the food. But what we're going to do is I have a salad dressing that I make. And that salad dressing is made with walnuts, balsamic vinegar, raisins, a little bit of hemp seeds, some garlic, and mustard. Then I pour that on the portobello mushroom cap, so that it kind of marinates a little bit while you're doing it. Show both cameras, Amy.
Okay, hang on a second. We are going to try and get you on both cameras. Here we are.
There we go. Okay, so you can see here, and you can see there, and you can see her, which is all good. So I got these Japanese little baby sweet potatoes that I put in the Instapot, and I put them in for 6 minutes. Some of them came out really soft and mushy, as you can see, and others are still firm. So I have a bunch of them. They put them on sale, 99 cents a pound, which is good for organic. Anyway, cauliflower, I cut off all the little bad spots. Well, maybe not all of them. And I was going to show you how I cut that up. Some people don't know. I cut the plastic off with a knife, and then I just chop down and cut off all the leaves. I do not eat the leaves. Usually they're not very good for me. Other people, they eat the leaves all the time, which is great. They are edible, and if they're in good shape, you do that. So what I do is I take my head and I cut down into, and each one of these kind of fall off. So if you can see that, right? Makes it easy. and I put it into a bowl, which is in the sink here. Okay. And then I just fill it up with water and I wash them off. So there you go. That's pretty much it. We wash them off. What I'm going to do is make some buffalo wings, because the sauces that I use, you'll see if you ever watch me, you'll see that I use a lot of the same spices over and over and over again for almost all my meals. Now they're in different ratios, depending on the flavor profile, and sometimes you add a little bit more to them, but that's the way it is. So then I just cut these up into bite-sized chunks, inside of the bowl, because all the little floret tops, they fall off when you cut them. So since it's in the bowl, it stays in the bowl. It works out pretty good. Okay, I already washed these 4 zucchinis. We buy organic zucchinis. We buy organic. Try to buy organic everything. Tomato. What I'm going to do is spice up the Portobello caps. I bought the little caps this time. They came 4-2. Usually I get the big ones. But we're having a potluck tomorrow, and that's what all this food's are going to be. So we have a vegan potluck twice a month. So I bought enough so everybody can get a mushroom cap. If you have two to it, then it doesn't go as far. This way it works out really good. And I'll show you how I wash them off as well. But anyway. Okay, so we're going to start off by making this sauce, because we need to. Now, normally I make a whole bunch of it inside of a Vitamix, and it fills up to about here. So I do a cup. It's normally a cup of raisins to a cup of walnuts to maybe like a quarter cup or a half cup of hemp seeds, and then 2 cups of vinegar, balsamic vinegar. No, 1 cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 cups of water, and about 5, 6, 7 cloves of garlic. However you like the garlic. I mean, if you like it garlicky, you put more in. You don't like the garlic, you put less in. I mean, that's just the way it is. And then recently we started adding a turmeric chunk and a ginger chunk, because Amy says throughout the day you should be flooding your body just like Esselstyn says with greens, but we're going to be flooding it with turmeric and ginger, which helps out with the arthritis and inflammation and things like that, which I kind of suffer with. Can't hear you, Ames. Can't hear you, Ames.
Thank you. That's right. I learned recently, because I'm always learning, but I learned recently that ginger and turmeric, well, I already knew that they're very good for inflammation and other things, but they don't stay in your body all day long. So if you're trying to fight inflammation and you're adding turmeric and ginger to your diet, excellent. But if you're only doing it during one meal, then the rest of the day, it's fading out of your body and you're not getting the benefits of it. So if possible, try to add it to every meal. And that's why Rick was saying that that's one of the things he began adding to our dressing is that turmeric and ginger.
Because we eat salads every day. So we're definitely going to get it in the evening or the late part of the afternoon. However, we big salad for dinner every time. And also, smoothies, which is what we have for breakfast, brunch. It's more of a brunch because it's around 1 o'clock that we eat our breakfast lunch. Even though she gets up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I sleep a little later. I'm a 9 o'clock guy. Anyway, because I'm a 2 o'clock in the morning guy. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what we're going to do. We take walnuts. I cut this particular version down so it'll fit inside of a NutriBullet. Okay, which I think most people will use. We go through 4 or 5 bottles of this within the week, so that's why I make a big Vitamix of it. So it's a quarter cup hemp. I'm using 2 cloves of garlic. Same thing with the raisins. So it's a quarter, and then half for the balsamic vinegar, and then I'll wash this out with this. So this is double the balsamic. So it's what is it? I don't know, whatever, twice of it. And I think that's it. Oh no, the mustard. And it's supposed to be a tablespoon of mustard, or if you're doing the big one, it's 4. But this one here is this way. So this is the balsamic. This is going to be the salad dressing, or special sauce as we call it.
So I muted Rick's mic to make it more hearing friendly. As you see, he's wearing earmuffs to ear protection because that's really important.
Yeah, it gets
We want
really
to protect our ears
And since
because
we do this
plan
so
on
many
living a
times,
long time.
I do this several times a day. You know, plus I used to work for the airline, so I was around those great big jet engines. Yeah, it has a nice flavor. Anyway, you could add a little bit more raisin to it. You could add add more whatever. This one, it's the right ratios. Anyway, so I already have it here, but we'll use this. So we'll put this off to the side. That's how you make my special dressing, and I use it in almost all my cooking, which is, like I said, you'll see a trend if you watch me long enough.
So I want to give some shout outs and people that are shouting out. So greetings, Roxy Fort. She said, Happy New Year. Greetings, Simona. Happy New Year. Gina said, Happy New Year. And Mona said, I just bought Portobello Mushrooms yesterday. Was going to do a burger, but may change my mind now.
It's kind of easy. Okay, so.
Oh, wait, got another shout out from Vegan Knowledge JJ. Hi, Amy and Superman.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
You already knew. See, she knew.
There we go.
Yep, he's got his apron.
I forget this all the time. I have a hard time tying it in the back, too. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we're set here. Now, what I do is I take a mandolin, okay, and I always wear one of those gloves. This is the wrong one.
Yeah, that's important because if you have a mandolin, you do have one of these gloves. You want to, it's well used, but do you want to show how it's kind of protective, Rick?
On this side, it's got a little bit of rubber on it, but it's a cut glove. You're not supposed to be able to cut yourself with the knife, with these. And everybody thinks, oh, I'm not going to cut myself, and they hardly ever use that cap. You know what the mandolin comes with. But I've cut myself. I've cut the tip off my finger more than I care to admit, to be quite honest. Thinking, oh, it's not going to happen, but it does. So now I just put the glove on in the beginning, and I don't have to worry about it.
And it just takes a moment to slip that glove on. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, but you have to have it. And I keep it in with my knives. So
yeah. Then you know you're going to find it.
So this mandolin actually has a few different settings. I'm going to set it on the thicker one because we're gonna nuke them to make them a little softer. Now this will be my first time nuking it, but here, this is what I do. You see what happened? I would have just cut my whole hand off, but so these are actually very thick. So I'll cut some thinner too. We'll see which one's the best. So you can cut it into strips.
So Green Warriors, how many of you have a mandolin at home? Have you ever tried using one? Let us know in the comments.
Now you don't have to use a mandolin. You can cut it with the knife. That's thick again. Okay, now this is thin. So we'll see which one's better. This one you get a whole lot more. You know, last time I made this, I made them all thin, and then my father was like, "These are so thin." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go with thicker." But everybody can do it in whatever choice they want. When they do get nuked, or I throw them on a cookie sheet, okay, like this, and I put them in the oven normally, and I just place them inside like that. But before I cook them, normally I sprinkle them with a salty cheese mixture. I call it a Parmesan cheese. It's not salt. It's table tasty with nutritional yeast and garlic and onion and stuff like that inside of it. So these are the thin ones, like that. These are the thick ones. And I really think the thin ones work out better, but I'm going to try it both ways. And we're going to do it like this. So you take these, where are you? Oh, I'm almost out. I'll show you how to make this stuff too. This is my Parmesan cheese mixture. So if you guys want to stick around, we'll just do that real quick. And then we'll get on to the zucchini bit. Okay, so I take Table Tasty. If you guys never tried Table Tasty, you should, because it'll change your life as far as salt goes in your diet. It is not salt. It is I think it's more citric acid that gives it the salty flavor, but it's nutritional yeast. So I put in about, I want to say, let's say, it depends on how you want to do it. I make one of these big things. Okay, so I put in nutritional yeast. Well, that Table Tasty. This is onion powder.
See how he measures, guys?
Hey, everybody's different.
I am so surprised that we kicked out a recipe book, Rick.
Yeah, right. Amy stood over me with a loose leaf paper and let me pour it into it. That's garlic. Now, I put in hemp seed because the hemp seed sucks up some of the moisture, like rice would inside of a salt shaker. If you guys ever did that. And then I take sumac, which also gives it a salty flavor. And
So,
go ahead, Ames.
oh, go ahead. Finish that.
Nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. So Gina wanted to know if Table Tasty is like Mrs. Dash. Oh my goodness.
You know, it's supposed to be a salt substitute, but the Mrs. Dash, well, Amy doesn't really care for pepper that much.
Right.
But Mrs. Dash doesn't seem to give it that salty flavor. Let me show you what a bag. I buy it by the pound or 2 pound. So let me show you what a bag looks like. This is the Table Tasty. Okay. And this is a 2 pound bag. Fairly expensive, but to me worth every penny.
Oh
and
yeah.
Let me read the where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay. Non-fortified nutritional yeast is the first one. Carrots, red bell peppers, onions, arrowroot, lemon, citric acid, celery, dillweed, parsley, basil, allspice, paprika, rice hulls, and I guess that's to help it from caking.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That was my experience, because when we first adopted this lifestyle, we were looking for a salt substitute. I got Mrs. Dash and I tried it and I said, I feel like I just put pepper on my food. I don't taste salt, you know? So I tried the different seasonings of the varieties of Mrs. Dash, and I just couldn't find one that I thought tasted like salt. And then we discovered the Table Tasty. And no, it's not salt, but wow, it really took things up a level. It didn't taste peppery, and it does give it a salty taste, amongst other things that you use, right, Rick?
Yes, and I just used Chili 9000. because
Yeah,
I
that was
like the little bit of tingle that it gives, and that's a spice. For me, it's great. It's got like 4 different types of chili inside of it: ancello chili, cumin, garlic, cilantro, onion, paprika, cayenne pepper, lemon peel, Mexican oregano, um, black pepper, cocoa powder, citric acid, turmeric, cinnamon, coriander, ginger, and natural smoked flavorings. Fenugreek, clove, fennel, nutmeg, white pepper. So if you try to mix this up yourself, and I've tried to make my mix in
mm,
my stuff, and they come out pretty good. But these guys, they have sales periodically. You know, it's wonderful. Anyway, so I take all of this and then I shake it up. I put this on my potato on my chips, and I make corn chips, and we throw them in the microwave, and you eat them like chips. They come out like Doritos. When you put this stuff on them, it comes out like Doritos.
yeah, they're
Anyway, so,
dangerous. They
so
taste really good.
yeah, they do. Or you can just make them normal. So then I take this on the because it has two different sizes, and I just sprinkle it on them like that. You know, normally I flip them over, and then I throw them in the oven for a little while. What we're going to do this time, though, is we're going to put them on a plate to soften them up and see what happens. I'm not going to make all of them right now because I want you guys to experience all the other stuff that we're going to do too. And making all of them will take too long. So we'll just make these real fast. This will make like 2 or 3, about 3 of them. Okay. Let me put it on a plate because normally I throw that in the oven, which I'm going to have to do anyway. So let me start it.
So, Green Warriors, tell me what's your favorite way to use zucchini in plant-based cooking? Tell me in the comments how you use it. Some people like to spiralize it. There's all kinds of ways. So let me tell me what you like to do.
Well, talking about spiralizing, with this particular dish here, it's easy. You can make a spiralized zucchini spaghetti and serve it with the mushrooms and stuff when you do that. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to stick it in here for a minute. We'll see what happens because I've never done it in the microwave before.
You're experimenting on us.
I am, but I figure the whole thing is to soften them up because you're just gonna cook them in the oven anyway. Once you put it in the fillings.
So Mona said that she makes rollatini with tofu ricotta.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good.
The tofu is normally what all the recipes I've seen. That's how you make the stuffing. Is you use the tofu. Amy's not big on tofu, though we do use it periodically.
Well, we use it all the time for our dog food, right?
Yeah, I put it in my dog food all the time.
Yeah, but we do use it periodically.
Right. Where we at? Okay.
And Roxy said, I like to air fry it or put it into soups. Ooh, air fried zucchini. That sounds kind of good.
Or is that the tofu that she's talking about?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it might be. But I don't know what you meant, Roxy. You might have meant the tofu that you air fry. That's true.
Because we've air fried tofu before. I put it inside of a marinade, and I make it in with a sometimes a little smoked. This is stuff that I make the baked beans with. And liquid.
Oh, the liquid smoke.
Little, just a tad. You know.
Yeah.
Too much goes too far.
Yeah.
You got to just add just a tiny little.
Rick, for those that are not familiar with oil-free cooking, because we don't use any oil, you want to tell them what your process is there that you're doing to keep it from sticking?
In this particular one, I have a sill mat underneath it.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to cook on. So if you never used a sill mat, it's silicone with a mesh inside of it. And that prevents, it's like parchment paper, but you don't throw it away when you're done. Okay.
Right. You could use parchment paper if you didn't have a silicone mat, but we mostly use a silicone mat when we're cooking, and it doesn't stick, and it comes off very easily, as you're going to see in a little while.
Okay, I want to show you. This is to me, this is probably the best way to go. You see how floppy this gets?
Now that just came out of the microwave, right?
Yeah, I put it in for 1 minute, just threw it on the plate. And that's what I want. I want it so that it's pliable because I'm going to roll it and fold it. Okay, so that's the noodle. That's the noodle part. Now we're going to get into the stuffing.
Tina said my favorite mix with zucchini is onion, peppers, mushrooms, zucchini, and a green cabbage, spinach, etc., some kind of green, and some lemon juice. I put that on oatmeal, potatoes, or any grains. Wow. I like that.
Yes, that's tasty.
So you got those potatoes.
So these potatoes, you can see how soft they are. These are organic. I take the skin off for whatever reason. But normally I just use sweet potatoes. But because we saw these are more of a Japanese, and they supposedly make really good ice cream as well. And if you get some skin in there, it's no big deal. I washed them and everything. It's all good. See, this one is kind of hard. It's not as soft and mushy. Let me pull that out. But it's all going to be good. And I've got maybe 10 more. Well, yeah. The skin is so thin, it won't make a difference whether you peel it or not.
So Rosie is asking me, wondering why you're not a fan of tofu. Is it preference, texture, or how it's processed? I think it's a lot of those things. When I first tried tofu, I didn't like the texture at all, and I still don't like. I don't like it in its whole form, like a chunk or something. If I have it in a sauce, then I don't mind it that way. But the chew of it, even air fried, just for me personally, I don't care for it. It is very high in fat, and I'm a teeny petite lady, and if I gain a pound, it looks like 5 pounds on somebody else. So for me, I'm not zero fat, but if I'm going to get a fat, I'd rather get it from nuts and seeds. And so I don't typically have avocado, and I don't typically have tofu, but I will have nuts and seeds. So I'm not zero fat. But that's just my preference. But I think that if anybody is eating tofu instead of cheese, yes, go for it. It's a wonderful substitute, and it's so much better for you.
Okay, so I take the potatoes, and all you do is mash them just like regular mashed potatoes. I am going to add a mixture, which we still need to make, to go inside of here. But this is going to be the base, kind of like what your tofu would be. It's potatoes. And sometimes it's several different types of potatoes, but like I said today. So I kind of put a little mustard in there. Okay. And then that mixture that I made, that I showed you how to make it, okay, I sprinkle some of that in there, and that'll give it a different flavor. I'm going to add a little. Go ahead, Ames.
Oh, I'm saying that's a really handy blend that you keep around.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then that special sauce, I'll add some of that to it.
And we use that special sauce as salad dressing, and also Rick uses it in other recipes. So he'll just take a whole Vitamix and make a full container of it and put it in little bottles like that. And it's wonderful. Magic sauce. When we used to have prize drawings at our potlucks, and we used to make that sauce as a prize, and then we had gift cards for some plant-based friendly restaurants, and we had other prizes, and people would always say, I hope I get the dressing.
That's right. And I take some mushrooms. Now I have other shows that I showed you the mushrooms. It's peppers, onions, A little bit of seasonings, pretty much what you saw here. Okay, so this will have a little bit of mushrooms inside of it as well.
And that's something that you batch cook all the time is this mushroom mixture. We freeze it into the super cubes so that they're on hand. And oftentimes you'll take that and add it in. And I think that's what's great about the recipes that you make, Rick, is that you'll take a little bit of things that you have already made from something else in the refrigerator and then combine them. And get creative, guys, because you have leftovers that you can mix together and make something with.
Okay,
And
now
then
you
that
can taste
kind of,
it. You can taste it and see where you're at and whether you like it. Normally, I add a little date syrup to it, but these Japanese sweet potatoes are so sweet, you don't want to add any more sweetness to it. What it does need is a little bit of basil. And I like basil. I buy a lot of it. And we'll put a little sage in there as well. Just a tad. A touch more mustard is on top of it. Beauty with this thing is you can taste it as you go along.
but this is a great way. I'm hoping that you're inspiring people to check out their leftovers inside of the refrigerator. And sometimes, oh, Zeus just is on Paw Patrol. I don't know if you can hear him. But if you check out your leftovers in the refrigerator, because you could take them and make a new meal. You could use something and stuff a mushroom with it, right, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is going to be the stuffing. It kind of tastes cheesy because of the nutritional yeast, but yet it has a more in-depth flavor. I think a lot of it has to do with this special sauce. I think you'll like it. Now, if you want to add a tomato base to it, or this is the mushroom liquid that I keep after making that mushroom base.
Right. So, and we have videos about that. If you want to link to them, I
If
can
it's
tell
too
you.
thick, you could add water, or you could add a couple of teaspoons of this stuff. And this stuff is flavored as well because of what we did when we cooked it, which is pretty much the same ingredients that I put inside of here. But that makes it a little bit more creamy. You don't want to put it in a Vitamix because when you process the potatoes too much, it comes out like really starchy.
Yeah.
Now, if you want, and I'm going to do it because I have it, Amy regularly makes sprouts. These are mung bean sprouts, So I'm going to throw in a handful of mung beans, and that'll give it a little bit more crunchiness. She also makes broccoli sprouts, which we eat every day inside of our. Okay, so.
Do any of you sprout any seeds or beans, Green Warriors? Let us know in the comments if you like to sprout. Like Rick said, I like to sprout broccoli sprouts because they go in our smoothies. And then the mung beans, I love them in soups. Kind of like when I would go to a Chinese restaurant, you get those sprouted mung beans floating around. And so he'll put them in all kinds of things. So tell us in the comments if you do any sprouting and what you sprout.
Can you guys see this cutting board good?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the zucchini things. And I'll make it on a plate. And then I'll transfer them off the plate onto the cutting board. Okay, so I take the zucchini, which is fairly pliable at this point, and I make it like that. I make a little star. And you can make more stars. I'm just going to do these right here. And I take my mixture, and I stick it on the inside of there. Then I take these, and I just roll them up along the edge. Just like that. And it makes a little packet that it stays in. Now, when I cook it.
Can you hold it up closer to the camera, Rick?
How's that?
Okay. I think that's better. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Then I buy these. Buy these. I forgot the name of them. I have it in the refrigerator, but they're on the vine and they're organic. And I find these to be like really, really super tasty, especially when they're cooked. I stick that in the middle, and it looks like a cookie in a way. Anyway, so I will do quite a few of these. So you take
Gina
that,
said, OMG, that looks amazing.
right?
Yeah,
It's
you
so
can
simple.
play with your food, Gina.
So all it is mashed potatoes, kind of, but spiced up a little bit more. And then you scoop it out, and it's got mushrooms in it, and like I said, the sprouts are in it. And then you just fold these edges up. So I think it's better off. These are the thin zucchinis. The thick ones are inside of the oven right now.
Rosie said, looks fancy, but so easy.
Yep. And believe me, they're really tasty too.
Oh, yeah, they really are.
So, like I said, I'm going to make a whole bunch of these because you can see what I got. But this was to show you what's going on.
And we're having a plant-based potluck tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that Rick is going to serve at the potluck. So everybody
Yes.
will have at least one.
Now, when you have leftovers, you can take these and you take a little bit and you put it in there and you just roll it. So you have these little roll-ups for hors d'oeuvres. You see what I'm saying? So you just take a small bit, stick it inside there. You can see that, I hope. And you just roll them up. And you cook them at the same time, same way. But then you serve these as hors d'oeuvres prior to. I've done that before as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
people just love it. When we have our potlucks, we'll have everybody come in and greet each other and talk. And then a lot of times Rick will make plant-based sushi. But this is another hors d'oeuvre that he makes, and it's just nice to have something before dinner while we're talking and greeting each other. Do any of you like to make any plant-based sushi, or what do you serve if you have at an hors d'oeuvre? If you do,
Then I make tuna fish as well.
yeah.
And chips. Anyway.
So Mona said that's how I do my rolantini and cooking pasta sauce. I'll
Right.
have to make these.
Do you do it with zucchinis or do you do it with like noodle?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that because earlier she said something about rolantini, but I don't remember if she said anything about. Maybe she'll type that in the comments.
Well, let me tell you something.
Kylie Kai said, "Yum."
You could change the flavor profile of this as well by taking a little salsa. I use this Newman salsa because it's low in sodium, and you put a tablespoon or two inside of it, and it gives it a more tomatoey taste. So you can have a variety of different. They're not all the same. So you say this is one, and this one is based off of with the sauce. It's just the tomato goes in there. It just amplifies the profile.
So Mona said with zucchini. Yeah. So rolantini. So we have a name for it now. Like
there you go.
Roll zucchini, rolantini. I love that.
So I take these little portobellos. Like I said, they're not the big ones; they're the little ones. Now, most people, for some reason, I don't understand it completely, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't need to. They don't wash them. I don't know where they've been, so I wash everything.
Yeah.
So I take out this little stump, and normally, when I take that out, I wind up making a. Can you do the other? Yeah,
yes, sir.
I make the. What is that? That walnut mushroom pate.
Yeah.
It kind of is an imitation liver pate.
Yes, it's supposed to be like a chopped liver, but it's no liver. It's good for your liver.
It's good. That's right. It's good for your liver.
For your liver pate.
So I take these stumps, and I use them. Anyway, what I do, I don't know if you can see the, yeah, you can see the sink. So I wash the cap a little bit, and then I put them down, straight down. But there's dirt and stuff inside of these. And because you're going to have moisture anyway, see, this one just had dirt all over the cap. I should have shown that to you. But some people just brush them off. And now other people don't like the fins inside of here. I like the fins because what I do is I take this sauce, okay, and then I fill the cap, the fin area, with the sauce. Okay. Now some of this will overflow a little bit when it's being cooked, but that doesn't matter. And if there's too much inside of it, I just kind of scoop it out a little bit. Okay. So we'll put that in here. Normally I have a whole bunch of them. So then let's get rid of this. I take a tomato slice, and this is not necessary because it doesn't really matter. But I like the flavor profile, and it gives it a, I don't know, people are like, wow, what is that? It's such a dimension. Anyway, so I cut them fairly thin. Then I'll put a tomato on top of these. Okay. And then I take these big boys and I just stick it inside. My mushroom. Now you can cook them without, or you can cook them with. Makes no difference. So you see that? So you got the mushroom, and then I put them inside of the oven.
So we have a question from C. Zucchini chips rolled in panko and bake. Does Rick have a special breadcrumb recipe?
Ah, see, that's another thing. Amy's not real big on me using breadcrumbs either. And I'll tell you, you didn't see me before, but you probably saw a before picture, and we have others. I was a pretty big guy. Amy couldn't get her arms around me. I mean, she couldn't get her arms around me. Yeah. And that was kind of upsetting. Anyway, so bread, it keeps you healthy, It doesn't really give you a whole lot of nutritional value, but if I was going to use breadcrumbs, and I do, sometimes I throw them in with my meatballs and stuff, but I don't use a lot of it. I take the Ezekiel bread. If you don't know what it is, you can get it. It's whole grains. Ezekiel bread.
It's a sprouted bread.
Sprouted bread. I toast it, like in a toaster, or throw it in a toaster oven, and I toast it. Or you can throw it in the oven and just kind of bake it, and it dries it out so that it will crumble. Or you can take it and throw it into, I freeze it. So I have it frozen inside my refrigerator. I probably have a loaf inside of there that's been in there probably a year and a half. May not good, but it's, anyway. So I take the bread, I throw it inside my food processor, pulse it. And then I take oregano, an Italian seasoning mix, and this mixture that I made up. And I just sprinkle a little bit inside of there, pulse it. And you can spread it on a cookie sheet like this, throw it in the oven, let it dry out, and then you got breadcrumbs. You can put them inside the refrigerator. You can put them inside of a vacuum packed bag and freeze them, and have breadcrumbs whenever you want. That's what I do. But usually I don't store them. I'll just take 2 slices out, throw it inside of a little food processor, pulse it, take this little shaky thing, throw some inside of it, and I'll taste it. If I like the flavor, if I don't like the flavor, I'll add a little bit more something, one way or the other. And most of the time I throw it inside of, like I said, meatballs, which is not meat. They're lentil balls or black bean balls, or a combination of the two. It's in my book. I think we have meatballs inside there. Anyway, and I'll show you at another time if you want to. if you like what you see and you want thoughts and ideas, tell Amy, and I'll try and make it for you.
And
One way or the other, the way that I mean,
Mona
everybody's
wanted to
different.
know how you cook the zucchini.
Which zucchini? This one right now?
I think that she might have meant the pre-cook that you did.
Okay, this is the thicker one, and you see they're pliable, and we'll take these and we'll make a couple of them too. But I think the thinner ones are better. I really do.
So you pre-cooked them in the microwave earlier. I don't know if she caught that.
Well, these I threw in the oven. So when I put the ones in the microwave,
Yeah.
I put it in for a minute. These I put in. These are the thicker ones. I threw them in the oven, and I just took them out now.
Right.
Because
so you're experimenting with how thick or thin to make it, because when Rick's dad was over for dinner one time, he thought that they were too thin. So he's experimenting. And what do you think, Rick?
I'm going with the thin.
Yeah.
These are too thick, but they'll work.
But maybe after they bake.
Yeah. I think
it
what
might be
happened with
different.
his, I had too many seed. One of them that was really seedy. Because
Ah.
sometimes they're seedy. And he got one that was really seedy, so it was very papery thin. But anyway, this will work. These thick ones will work. I actually have another one right here. So we'll put that on top of there.
And I really love, Rick introduced me to how a tomato tastes so much better when it's heated versus cold and raw. It's also better for you because the nutrients become more bioavailable through cooking with tomatoes. Not all foods are that way, but tomatoes are. But wow. And then these I don't think they're called cherry tomatoes, but you could use cherry tomatoes.
I will look and see. I have another one in the refrigerator.
Yeah, but they kind of burst in your mouth when they're cooked. And it's like a little package of tomatoes. So I don't know what it is, but it got to the point where now
these are called cherry tomatoes. Yeah, the pommies, cherry tomatoes, puppies. Yeah, that's what I call my father, Poppy. So there's Poppy's organic cherry tomatoes, and they're on the vine. For some reason, they have the flavor of like you grew them in your backyard.
Yeah.
Not always, but a lot of times. And then when you cook them for a little bit, they burst, and they have a lot of flavor.
If you guys hear our puppy Zeus in the background, he is on duty. He likes to go outside and look for rabbits and squirrels and geckos, and he's not going to catch them because he barks. So
he's so cute.
I don't know if he's really trying to catch them or he's just excited to see them.
He could catch them, and he leaves them alone. I think in the beginning when he was a little puppy, he used to chase them all the time. And then all of a sudden, he was realizing he was ripping the tails off those poor little guys.
Yeah, their tails regenerate. So
yeah, they do.
But
I think he realized that he was ripping the tails off, and he stopped. He still chases them because he has fun, but he doesn't do anything to them. Same thing with the rabbits. He chases the rabbits until he gets right up to it, and then he lets them run away, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
He gets to have fun. But yet, lets them have
But he's our plant-based dog,
So these are on the tomatoes, on the mushrooms, and this one I'm going to put off of the mushroom. Okay? Because it doesn't matter. I've served them both ways, but then I thought that they went really good with the...
I think, was that how it happened, Rick, that originally you had made a tray of mushrooms and a tray of the zucchini wraps?
Yes.
And then you decided...
I was going to put one on top of the other. That's correct.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is pretty cool. Yeah.
And you don't even need a toothpick.
No. Well,
isn't that weird? You would
even
think
if it falls apart, it's okay. Because I guess the potato makes it stick. There you go. So this is dinner for tonight.
And tomorrow.
Well, I didn't make enough of them for tomorrow.
Uh-oh. I hope none of our plant-based...
Hey, I'll come up with
watching.
There's always plenty of food. And then we take these little roll-ups. Okay, and then I take it and throw it in the oven, 350. Where are you guys? Here you are. This is still hot because it came out of the oven. 350, about 20 minutes or so. Because all you got to do is make sure the mushrooms get cooked down.
Well, that really looked good, Rick.
Well, it's absolutely delicious. Now, if you never spiralize zucchini, it's really simple. You get one of these little spiralizers, and ours comes in a little kit. I think this came with the mandolin thing and all the rest of that stuff. I saved one back. That's probably why we were short. Anyway, so you cut it off so that it's flush, and right here on this edge is a center.
Can you hold that up to the camera, like, and then turn it so we can see? So
it's got a cutter, and it's got this little knob here. And you stick this right in the center of it. So that holds it up, and then it's got these spiky things on the end, right here, and that digs into the zucchini. Then all you do is turn it and push at the same time. And I count 5, and then I break it loose. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming. Let me move that.
Tina said, I wish I could climb through the link and come to your house. My husband's making turkey and stuffing and stew with chicken hearts. Oh, I'm having my veggie mix with potatoes and lentil salad. Good for you, Gina.
So he cooks for himself? That's nice.
Yeah.
A lot of the wives make 2 meals. They make one for her and one for him. Which well, you do what you want. I'm not going to say, because
sometimes
it's all good.
Yeah.
But it's good that he likes to cook.
Yeah.
You know?
But oftentimes, if you just keep going, then they kind of lean into what you do. And I've had clients that have had that happen.
Yes.
And then they were starting to get upset because all the food that they were making, their spouses
were eating.
Were starting to eat it. And they're like, oh no, there's not enough for me now.
So one zucchini actually goes quite far, because one is spiralized like this.
Yep, I love the spiralized zucchini too, because if you like to have, I don't eat pasta, even whole wheat or whatever it is. I don't have chickpea pasta. I don't have any kind of pasta, because I'm trying to stay true to the whole food plant exclusive lifestyle without having anything too processed. So, but I do love the mung beans. They're great floating around in the soup. And also I love to have the spiralized zucchini.
So another thing that I do sometimes, Amy likes hers plain, but I take this stuff, again, that mixture that we made up with the garlic and the onion and the table tasty, and I'll dust these, because it gives it a little bit more flavor. She'll love it too.
I will. I love it all, and I'm so
lucky.
I
just kind of mix it together. Then you take this and you throw it in the microwave for 1 minute, just 1 minute. It stays al dente, but yet it heats up. And you could toss that inside of soups. You could put this on the side with the here. So I mean, you figure half of it for a person, right? And then you cut one of these. Just figure this thing is cooked a little bit, right? Because then you have that flavor. You take your mushroom thing. Let me pull one out, and we'll show you what it looks like plated up.
So, Green Warriors, you have a question for Rick or for me? Type it in the comments, and we will ask away and get answers for you.
So you take that little styro stuff, some veggies. Oh, I forgot to show you how to make my my buffalo wings.
Oh,
So let's do that real quick.
this is
So then you take that, you take the
pretty much is
buffalo
a
wings, put it on
staple.
the side. You put the
Yeah.
buffalo wings or a veggie. What do we have? Do we have any more of that? No.
Well, I love these buffalo wings that Rick makes with cauliflower, and he's gotten it down to where he can just throw it together so quickly and that's what it is. If you come up with some recipes that you like and enjoy, after a while, if you make them a few times, you'll just throw them together and you won't even really be thinking about the ingredients.
All right, now you can take this and take a California blend or one of these stir-fry blends, which is peppers and onions. The other one's carrots. This one has. Put that in the microwave for about 5 minutes or 3 minutes, 2 minutes, depending if you just get one serving. Put it on the side, and then you got a nice healthy meal, and you got all of what you need. You can also, if you have leftover, you can just eat these like mashed potatoes. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let me show you how I make the other stuff. I'm gonna put this one back inside the oven so it cooks better.
So, Green Warrior, what are you having for your next meal? I was going to say dinner, but I have people that are watching from Australia and all over the place. So who knows what meal they're about to eat. So tell us what you're planning to eat for your next meal.
Okay, so with this one, we're going to use the Vitamix. I will put this off to the side.
So you got a yummy and delicious from Gina. She said yummy and delicious. Absolutely.
Okay, where are you? Here we go. Okay. Now, pretty much, almost always, I'll use some walnuts. So I'll take some walnuts, I'll put it in. That's probably like a half a cup. It all depends
Those are raw, unsalted walnuts.
All right, raw, unsalted. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of onion.
Well, I can't remember when we used to buy. Go ahead.
Basil.
We used to buy our spices in these little spice jars.
This is hemp seed. Sumac. Chili 9000. Little bit of date syrup. Some mustard. I'm almost out. And table tasty. Now, if you want, you can add some miso to it. My doctor said I should have more fermented food. So I put about a half a teaspoon of miso in there. I'm out of nutritional yeast. It doesn't really matter. Take that. Add some water. Am I missing something? We're going to add a little bit of this salsa because this will change the flavor profile a little bit. And let's just use it. It'll be fine. You could throw in some of these potatoes if you want to as well. But we're going to go with this, the way that it is. Oh, I forgot. This stuff makes it taste really good. This is apple cider vinegar. Let's see.
You look like a scientist in a laboratory, Rick.
That's what my father tells me.
You just need some beakers or something.
Hey, but all these recipes are in that book, in one form or another.
They're all in our ebook. So I'm muting Rick's Vitamix now, and I wanted to let you know that if you are needing any help with sticking to a plant-based diet, you should contact me. I do private coaching and I do accountability. We do Zoom meetings where we help you clean out your pantry and your refrigerator. And we really try to help you to get a good reset. Also, Rick does private cooking lessons as well, right, Rick? I don't know if he may not have heard me because he has the earmuffs on. Ooh.
That's got a lot of flavor. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
All of your
I'm gonna add
recipes.
some mushrooms to it.
Okay. Why not? Because why not?
That's right. Because why not? And you don't have to. But mushrooms are important. It keeps the cancer away.
Yeah.
It's really important.
And they give a nice umami flavor profile too, right? Yep. So I just hope that you're being inspired because there's all things that you have in your kitchen, in your refrigerator, things that maybe you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all this in time before it goes bad. Mix it together. Who knows what you come up with?
Oh, yeah. That's delicious. Spicy, yet nice. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get rid of this bad boy.
So in case you are tuning in a little later, Rick is making cauliflower buffalo wings. And he is making the sauce for that right now. That's what he just made.
Okay, this stuff here, see, I remember I cut it up in the beginning.
That's
They're
the
kind of bite-sized.
cauliflower.
They're
Yeah.
a little large, but that's okay. I mean, you could always cut them down, but you want to make sure that you'll be able to eat them. You could always cut them on your plate with a knife. I kind of open them up and just eat them like this. I eat them raw, and I eat them cooked. And to be honest, a lot of times I prefer them raw, but most people like them cooked.
Right. And you're talking about after you put all the mixture on it that you eat them raw.
Yeah, I eat them raw too like that, but yes. I like cauliflower. Amy prefers broccoli. And
yeah, but I like cauliflower too. Mona want to know that with that dry mix blend, if there's a measurement somewhere for that.
I can put one together, but you know, it's almost it's the garlic and the onion are equal parts. The table tasty is about twice of whatever the garlic would be. The basil is about a quarter of the garlic. The hemp seed is about the same amount as the garlic. You can also put nuts like walnuts inside there, and you grind the walnuts up, and it gives it. If you're going to use it for Parmesan cheese, that's normally what I'll do. I'll take this stuff, I'll grind up some walnuts, then I'll pour that in with the walnuts, and the walnuts will give it more of a fat.
Yeah. Yep, they definitely do.
It doesn't stay real good in the refrigerator, but if you use it right away, that's the way to do it. Everything is to taste. Your flavor profiles might be different than my flavor profiles, but if you use the same ones and you play with it a little bit, it'll come. And I think, I wrote the book so long ago. I need to come out with another one.
Yeah, because you've made so many other.
I believe it's in there.
Yeah, the cauliflower is in there. So Mona want to know, are our potluck guests getting the cauliflower buffalo wings?
Yeah.
If there's any left.
Okay, so I didn't use the whole mixture inside of there. I used about half of it. Whoops. Half of it just fell on the floor. So the dog is going to have a treat. Okay, so I just coat these things like you would, if you had chicken, you would coat it. I kind of used my hand a little bit because I didn't want it to fall out anymore. But you see how that's getting coated? Now this by itself will taste delicious, but you need a few more. So I take some of, oh, there you are, Zeus. You missed it. Here you go. Okay. So I go back and I take some of this, kind of like the breadcrumbs you were talking about. This is what I use for breadcrumbs in certain cases. So it gives it, I coat the outside of it so that the first bite that you taste has that salty, cheesy type of flavoring. And these are done. So you can eat them just like this. That's good.
Yep, he's always tasting just to make sure that he likes the flavor profile of things, because you just never know.
Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, if you had chicken wings, you can't taste it. I mean, you could taste maybe, depending on what you put inside of your other stuff, but this is really good. It's got that tomatoey, this one here. So then,
So, Rick, Gina want to know if you think frozen cauliflower can be used instead of the fresh.
if you're going to cook it, yes. If you're going to eat it raw, no. But yes, I mean, but it will be mushy. Anyway, so now I take this stuff and you put it inside of a bowl. And you
No
can put
oil, right?
No oil. There's never any oil. We don't use oil in this house. You know what? I have 2 bottles of olive oil that I got from somebody. They were out of date. And you know what I use it for? I use it to put on the chain of my bicycle to keep it from rusting. That's what I
Who
use oil
says
for.
oil can't be healthy?
Olive oil. Use a bicycle chain. I'm sorry. So then I take this, I put it inside of a glass bowl, put it in the microwave, 5 to 6 minutes. Depends if you want it softer or al dente. Now, so I put it in for 5 minutes.
And that, of course, depends on your microwave too, right, Rick?
Yeah. Well, this is like 1,000 watt. Most of them are 900,000. So 5 minutes, and then you can, if you can stick a fork in it. I mean, you can eat them raw. So if you like it al dente, it's just warmed up. Usually this lasts quite some time because Amy doesn't eat a whole lot of them. She doesn't care for the sauces covering all over it. I eat them, and my guests eat them. Now she eats them too, but not in the quantity that I do.
Right. I like all the flavors, but I would rather have a dipping sauce and have a small amount of the sauce than have it just coated totally. And that's just kind of a preference. That's all.
So
I still like it.
I'll make them both ways. So she has a bowl, I have a bowl, or I take her bowl and I have this, and I just mix some in with it, mix it up, and so it's all good.
Yeah.
I have this.
Sometimes
I actually have some of this inside of here right now.
Yeah. Sometimes what we'll do is I'll have a frozen bag of mixed vegetables and I'll microwave that and I'll mix it in with the cauliflower that he made. And then this way it cuts down the amount of sauce. I'm sorry, Rick. I was talking. Can you
No, it's
show
all
that?
good. I just showed him. It doesn't make a difference. I said I have this in the refrigerator that I use throughout probably 4 days max, and then toss it. But it normally doesn't last that long.
Yeah, makes it's a good snack. It's just really delicious.
Okay. What else do we got, Amy?
Well, what'd you do so far? Give us a recap. What'd you make? You made the zucchini wraps and the zucchini roll-ups.
Yeah, we made some spiralized zucchini.
And the spiralized.
Where is it? Spiralized zucchini. Right? We made the cauliflower buffalo wings. And we made those mushroom
The portobello.
ravioli. zucchini raviolis.
Yeah.
That's all I know of. Ooh, yeah. These are getting close. Let me take them out and I'll show you what we're dealing with and how you know that they're getting close. But also depends on how well you like it. With mushrooms need to be cooked a little bit, but they don't need to be, soft and gooey. It's all up to your preference. But what do they have inside of them?
They have the garotine in them, and so which can be toxic. So all you need to do is lightly steam them. You don't have to cook them heavily. But I think they're nice when they're cooked a little bit anyway. And then some of the juices of the mushroom kind of go into the rest of the dish. Ooh. Ah, look at that.
So you can see all the sauce. I don't know if you can see it. Most of the sauces came down. But you could serve them like that. I will plate these up because, in my opinion, these are ready.
That looks so good.
Okay, this is the one without the mushrooms. Put that there.
You put that on top of the tomato slice?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the tomato flavor.
Yeah.
Then you take some of these buffalo wings after they're cooked or before. So totally up to you. Stick that on the side there.
Can you move that spice container?
I can move everything.
Yeah, this way we could see.
Okay.
Wow. So hold it up closer to the camera when you have a moment.
Now put a couple of mushrooms on there. How's that?
Yum. Oh boy. I love eating this way, Green Warriors. I can eat all that and a big salad. And if I want more, hey, I can eat more.
And a lot of times I'll take this dressing and I'll just drizzle it over the top of this a little bit.
Ooh, that looks so good. But if I want to have more, I'll eat more, and I don't have to feel bad about it, right, Rick?
You don't have to feel bad about any of this. Potatoes, mushrooms, vegetables. I would make a cauliflower blend vegetable, which I have frozen, and I would either steam them or put them in the microwave, and Amy will have that with a little bit of the cauliflower, and I'll kind of mix them together. So I'll coat the vegetables because I like vegetables, but I like them with some kind of sauce, as most people do with, if you had a steak or any type of meat or anything like that, if it was just plain and you didn't put any kind of spices or rubs or anything on it, you really wouldn't like it. All these, to me, all of them need a little bit, but plain is fine as well. Everybody has their own preferences. This is it's a 5-star meal in a restaurant, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we're going to be sitting down at the table eating this, and we're going to look at each other, and we're both going to say, "I'd eat at this restaurant," right, Rick?
Yeah, I would steam these also, and eat them, and just let them pop in your mouth. You put these in the microwave for a minute, and throw them in, and then when you eat them, they pop in your mouth.
But make sure that you put a cover on it because they'll pop in the microwave too, right?
I mean, don't eat the stem, but that right there is my idea of heaven. Well, one of them anyway.
Ooh, inside joke, starting off the new year right.
Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Okay.
WJ Kiner said, thanks for the great healthy ideas. Yes, they are very healthy.
So now the cauliflower is actually ready. See, you can stick a fork inside of them. Right? That was 5 minutes. So I would switch this out. What time is it? Oh, it's almost dinner time anyway. So I would switch this out for that, and that's our meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
a
have, we
salad,
have
right?
two of them. Almost.
We have a big salad.
Yeah. Sometimes I
Rosie,
don't want the big salad because I
I
just want to
know,
eat this stuff. But
I know, but it's best to eat the big salad first to make sure you get it all, and then you can enjoy that. Rosie said your guests will be so appreciative of the meal you prepared. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Rosie.
yeah, well, it's not just our meal though. These guys, every one of them is like exceptional as far
Oh,
as cooking goes. You know, one of them will bring, what are they having tomorrow? Somebody's bringing some kind of a potato casserole. Another person's bringing some kind of a lentil dish. And then we have Linda. She makes desserts that are like, oh God, they're beautiful.
outstanding!
Yeah. And then we
Outstanding
make an
dessert.
ice cream. I think I showed you guys how I make the ice cream on a past show.
The nice cream, yeah. The no dairy nice cream. Yeah, and Green Warriors, if you wanted to, you could have potluck dinners, plant-based potluck dinners. There may even be a group that's meeting in your neighborhood that you don't even know about. I wrote a blog about it, and I'll put a link to that. It's an PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, took this over, and it's called Building Healthy Communities, and you can search on their map. I'll put a link to it, and you can search on their map to see if there's one near you that you can join people like us that have potluck dinners for whole food plant inclusive lifestyle. Or if there's not one in your area, which was the case for us, you can
Yeah.
make one,
Or
and they'll
two.
give you the support and help to help you do that, right, Rick?
Yeah, we started one, and then about a half hour away from us, another woman, she had one going, and they went through a couple of people. Amy wound up taking that one over as well, so she was running two for a while, and then COVID came, and you know,
Yeah,
kind of.
we had a little break, but then we got back. Now we're all back together again. And
Yeah, we did a couple of Zoom classes or Zoom things,
yeah,
to try and keep everybody together. And now, now we're back together. We're having them at our house instead of at the one of the hurricanes we had kind of wiped out the community center we were having it in.
yeah.
The whole ceiling caved in on it.
But
So
nothing's gonna stop us, right? We are
right.
still plant-based. We've gone through hurricanes, we've gone through the COVID, we've gone through all these things, but we're still doing it because we want to have a healthy life.
Well, like I said, for me, I lost. I think I'm at like 100, 110, 115 pounds now, and it's made a world difference in my life. I figured would have been dead by now. That's 15 years ago, and I was bigger than that. That's anyway. I showed pictures to people recently of me, and they're like, "Who is that?" It
Yeah,
doesn't look.
because they didn't meet you when
I,
we were our former selves,
then when I
right?
go back to where I was, and they see me, they don't recognize me, and they ask me if I'm okay. I
Yeah.
still have that Chiefs jersey. It really hangs on me, but I still love it.
But
But I
now
don't
we
need.
both fit into it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Not
we'll
just
both fit in,
you.
no problem.
Yep. And we renewed our vows, and I was able to fit into my wedding gown, which I never thought would happen.
Yeah. What? We're almost to our 40th now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I really feel that if you were not on this lifestyle, and me too, I think that I definitely know our health would be much worse. But I don't
I
even
don't
know
think
if
I don't think I'd be talking to you guys
yeah,
right
I don't know if
now.
you'd
I
be
don't.
here.
I mean, I was in bad shape, real bad shape.
Yeah.
Anyways, God bless you all. Hope you all have a great, healthy, happy New Year. And
Rosie said, I love your sparkly top, Amy, and I really like your fireworks shirt, Rick.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. And
Amy got
Gina
me.
said, keep going, never give up. That's right. And if you're thinking about giving up, then just tune in to the Screen Warrior community, because we're here to support you
Yeah.
and uplift you and make you know that this is what you need to do. And don't listen to those people that are saying the wrong things to you out in the outside world.
Yeah. Email Amy.
Yep.
Use her like an AAA rep or an AA
Well,
rep.
I am an accountability coach and
Listen,
more, but we do that. So if you need,
she's also a Food for Life coach now too.
yes, I am
Instructor.
certified Food for Life cooking instructor.
Yes.
And I'm going to be embarking on one of my first classes for a corporate wellness event coming up in February. It's a private event, so I can't invite you though. Sorry. But if you want me to do something and you work for a company, I can do, because what we do is we do it virtually. So I can do that for you, for your company, if you want to kickstart your health and help your
Or a
fellow.
small group, if
Yeah.
you get a potluck group together or something like that.
Yeah.
No?
And that's true. That's another thing that we do is we do, Rick does cooking demos like this, but he'll do it on a private basis. So either for an individual or for a small group of people. And he does cook-alongs where he'll give you the ingredients ahead of time and do it with you. And he just really offers a lot of support and inspiration. And this food is so good.
It's fairly easy. If you kind of got to enjoy cooking, but it's not necessary because we can just do dump and microwave type things, and they come out really good as well. We travel a little bit. We don't travel that much. I have my little puppy, and he likes to travel, but other people don't like him traveling sometimes. And
You should
he's a
let
lot of responsibility. It's like having a baby.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you're done cooking, why don't you show everybody our puppy if he's around? You
He,
can call him.
he just ran outside, but
Yeah.
I will get him. Come here, Zuzi.
Yeah, because people have been asking about our puppy that you hear him, but you don't see him because he's kind of tiny. Although he's 2 years old. Like I'll always call him a puppy though, but he is 2 years old, and his name is Zeus, like the god. And you can hear him barking sometimes during our broadcast, or you can hear his little collar jingling. And he's great joy for us, and we really like having him around. We try to take him wherever we go. He is plant-based, so here he is. There's Zeus. Everybody say hi, Zeus.
Hi, Zeus.
And he for anybody that wants to know, he's a chocolate Yorkie. So that's why he's all brown and people, he's getting what is he getting? A dried apple?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he loves plant-based treats, right?
He does.
Yeah, he loves them.
Dried sweet potatoes is his favorite.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when we go out of the house without him, I give him he can't wait for his sweet potato treat, and he's like, "Okay, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Go ahead, get out of here already." It's wonderful. It's kind of like those pig's ears that you give dogs.
Yep, but he doesn't get any of that. He gets
dried sweet potato.
It's a slice of dried sweet potato. So do you want to bring Zeus in here, and we can
okay.
We can go ahead and sign off. And everybody's saying, Gina said, thank you. Mona, I enjoyed this. Thank you, Amy. And Roxy said, he's so cute. Isn't he so cute? Yes, he's a good dog, and we really enjoy having him here. Well, Green Warriors, tell us what was your takeaway today? What did you learn from cooking, or what was your takeaway as far as having this lifestyle, and maybe you got more inspired to stick with it? I don't know. Maybe that could be it too. I also wanted to thank Rick.
Hello.
I wanted to thank you.
Okay, give me a kiss. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the broadcast and sharing your recipes with us and your delicious dishes that you come up with. And Green Warrior, tell us, please click like to show your appreciation for what Rick shared with us today. And Rick has a recipe book, an ebook, and I'm going to put links to that in the show notes. It's also on my website, begreenwithamy.com. Right?
Basically, it's like a way of donating to her channel.
Yeah, it's a nominal amount of money, but it helps support the channel. But I really want to thank you, Rick, for sharing your amazing recipes and to help keep us going through the new year with these healthy and delicious plant-based dishes. So what do you want to say? Do you have anything you want to say for a take-home message to our Green Warriors?
Eat the rainbow.
Yeah, eat the rainbow. And we are going to eat the rainbow tonight, right? So I also want to thank Just Task Voice. She did the promos and she did the countdowns. And Just Task Voice, tell us who's coming up next.
Do you want to transform your health with delicious, culturally inspired, whole food plant-based recipes? Join Shada and Gustavo as they share their inspiring weight loss journeys and show you how to make flavorful plant-based dishes on Wednesday, January 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, on Be Green with Amy Live.
Well, most of all, I want to thank you, Green Warrior, for joining us today. Your engagement and your support make these, yes, thank you too, Zeus, make these discussions meaningful and impactful. I hope you're feeling inspired to take a closer look at your food choices and make some positive changes for your health and well-being. And remember, every bite we take can be delicious, and it's an opportunity to nourish our bodies and, like Rick, become the healthiest versions of ourselves. So stay tuned for more empowering content, and please subscribe to my channel, Be Green with Amy. And also check out my social media. Share my message with others who you think can benefit, because together as Green Warriors, we can make a meaningful difference in the world. And as a special thank you to all of you, I am offering you 5 free recipes. Woo! So just go to begreenwithamy.com/join and I will send them to you. And if you would like to join me and my hubby Rick, because we're going to, well, I usually tell you to take your left hand and your right hand and grab your shoulders and squeeze, because that's a hug from me to you. And I'm going to give a hug to my hubby Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Squeeze! Because that's a hug from me to you, Rick. And I do appreciate everything that you do for us and for my Green Warriors. And if you want to join me and Rick, and you can comment below my tagline, and he's going to say it with me. You ready, Rick?
Sure.
Okay. So until I see all of you again, remember, be strong, be well, and be green. Thank you so much, Green Warriors. Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
Enjoy.
Enjoy your food and tell us what you're doing. We would love to hear about it. Take care, and please come again and watch what we have coming up.
Looking for really tasty recipes that are SOS free? No sugar, oil, or salt. How can it taste good? Well, if you like flavor, then you'll love this Be Green with Amy recipe ebook. Get your copy today. Click on the link in the show notes. Be strong, be well, and be green.